So you started the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC and found out you're just gonna get clapped everywhere you go. You thought your level 450 bleed build was gonna carry you, but lo and behold, you're getting destroyed by trash mobs. And that's because the power scaling in Shadow of the Erdtree is completely different, and if you try and bum rush through the DLC, you're gonna have a really bad time, or at least a really fun challenge. So for those of you that want to get powerful in Shadow of the Erdtree, this video is for you. Now I've also noticed a lot of people are having trouble figuring out how to get out of the DLC zone. If you open up your map and read down at the bottom, it says Shadowlands between map. You just hit the right button and you can transition between all the different maps. So for those of you that find new weapons and want to get them leveled up, that's how you do it. Now the first thing we need to go over is how the power scaling and defense scaling works in the DLC. You'll notice right now that when we're at the round table hold in the vanilla game, if we go into our statuses, our attack power on our right armament is 658 right now, and you can see all of our defense and damage negation. This is my power level within the normal game. There's two different power levels currently in Elden Ring now. There's the Shadow Realm power, which you get from the Shadow Realm Blessing, and then there's your normal power level within the base game. Now your Shadow Realm Blessing is incredibly important and should not be overlooked for anybody looking to not get absolutely destroyed in the DLC. To level up your Shadow Realm Blessing, you're going to need Erdtree fragments. Every time you use two of these or one of these when you first start, you're going to drastically increase your attack power as well as your defensive damage negations. You can also level up your spirit summons this way with Revered Spirit Ashes. Now you'll notice if I go into status, I have level 8 Shadow Realm Blessing right now, which boosts my right armament all the way to 922 and drastically boosts all of my defense and damage negation stats. Now these Erdtree fragments can be found at any of the Miquella's crosses across the map, so you're definitely going to want to keep an eye out for them. You'll usually get one or two at each one. There's also going to be some headless statues, which will have one or two Erdtree fragments. And keep an eye out for these little creatures with the pots over their heads, because if they're glowing, then they also have a Erdtree fragment. Now right now we're at Blessing level 8 with 922 attack power for our right armament and 60 physical defense. And now going up to Shadow Blessing level 9, we go up to 955 attack power, and we get another 1.3 physical defense and higher defenses across the board as well. So each level that you can get is going to drastically increase your survivability and damage within the Shadow Realm. Now I've been able to get to Shadow Realm Blessing level 9 and Revered Spirit Ash Blessing level 3 without fighting any bosses in the game so far. Now I do have a video released already that'll get you to Erdtree Blessing level 8 without having to fight any bosses, and Revered Spirit Ash Blessing level 3. I'll leave a link in the description, as well as in the comments below if you want to check that out, but also give you a quick overview of my map for all the various locations that you can get these. Each one of these diamond markers designates an area where there is a Erdtree fragment or a Spirit Ash fragment. So you can kind of wander through here yourself if you so desire, or you can check out that video for a more detailed explanation of how to get to these locations. Now leveling up is still very important because it does tie in with your Shadow Realm blessings. Our right armament is at 955 right now, and since I'm running a faith build, I will go ahead and up this by 1 level. Now it shows it's 660 here under your attack power, which is actually our base attack power if we were outside of the Shadow Realm, but since we are in the Shadow Realm with the Shadow Realm blessings, it's actually higher. So let's confirm this. So we still get those additional 2 points to our right armament attack power, bringing us up to 957. So your levels and builds are still very important. If you want to progress in the Shadow Realm, the Erdtree fragments are going to be the most important. Now, if you are wanting to farm up runes to either level up all of the new weapons or level up your character, the Palace Approach Ledge here in Mogwin's Palace is still the best place to be able to farm up runes. You just go from this Site of Grace over to the edge and you shoot this dirty little chicken, and then he's going to run off the edge and fall to his death, and you're going to get a bunch of runes. You can do this very quickly, and there is a nice little trick that you can do to speed this up even further. If you hit the dirty little bird, it's going to run towards the edge, and the second its wings open, you can go and rest the Site of Grace, and you're going to get the runes. You don't have to wait for it to fall to its death, and you can get a lot of runes very, very quickly. I believe it's right around like 5 million runes per hour or something like that if you really wanted to dedicate a lot of time to it. Usually I just do this to be able to buy enough of the like somber smithing stones or smithing stones in general to be able to level up the new weapons instead of putting it all into levels. It's just a really nice way to be able to level up and test out all of the new weapons in the game, which is going to help you progress through the Shadow Realm as well. The next item I highly recommend for survivability is the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman. This enormously boosts your physical damage negation. It increases your damage negation by 20%. 100%, and it's really easy to get. So if you're getting absolutely destroyed in the Shadow Realm, I highly recommend getting this, and it's really easy to get. What you need to do is go to the drainage channel. If you don't remember how to get up to this area, you actually need to complete the puzzle here in Ordinia, a liturgical town, and you take the little teleporter that'll bring you into this area. Then you just need to progress to the drainage channel, and then from the drainage channel, we need to run out this area right here. We need to go across these roots, and we're gonna make our way right around, and we need to drop down onto this ledge right here, and then we're going to then go over to this route, and then as we get over here, instead of going all the way down, we want to get onto this ledge right here, and you're going to make your way up past that little broken part of the route onto this one, and we're going to make our way up onto this roof. Now this is where things can get a little bit sketchy, because there is a hole right here, and we need to go from this hole onto that kind of like pillar right there. So I found if I go from right here and kind of walk this way, we land right onto this beam. And then from this beam, we go back, and in that chest down there with those nasty little buggers is the Dragon Crest Talisman. This is an absolutely massive increase to your physical strike, slash, and pierce damage negation. You can see right now we're at 59 or 49 for most of those stats. And then once we put this bad boy on, it is substantially higher. We're sitting at 61 or 59 for all of those physical damage stats now. And since most of the enemies at the beginning of the game are doing physical damage, it should help a lot. Now, I really can't stress enough just how important these scattered tree fragments are. When I first encountered the Black Gold Knight, I was getting two-shot by this guy. I have exactly the same armor as I did when I first came into the Shadow Realm, but I'm taking substantially less damage now, and the fights are a lot more bearable. So if you're having any type of trouble with any of this so far in the DLC, I highly recommend taking a little bit of time collecting those scattered tree fragments, so that way you can actually have fun with the DLC and not be completely oppressed. Although I know there's definitely a certain portion of you that love to get beaten to death, but for those that don't, get your scattered tree fragments, have some fun with the DLC. You can also equip things like the Crimson Amber Medallion to get more HP, or like Erdtree's Favor +2, or any other HP increase or damage negation talisman will also help a lot in this DLC. As far as armor goes, using medium armor at the beginning is definitely recommended because things hit so hard and you're definitely going to want that physical damage negation. I've been using a mix of veteran armor, sometimes swapping out for some Lionel stuff if I need some extra slash or pierce resistance. But anything like veterans, knight cavalry armor, scaled armor, or even Radahn stuff is going to be really great for this. And you should have Radahn's equipment because you did have to defeat Radahn to get into the DLC. Explore the world as much as possible because there is a lot of really cool stuff to find. And I do have a video out already on how to get all the new weapon types like the backhand blade, which I'll have a build video on very soon as well. I show how to get the backhand blade, the light greatsword Milady, which is pretty amazing, the throwing blade, the dry leaf arts, which is how you unlock the hand-to-hand combat, which is a lot of fun, and the absolutely amazing Beast Claw. There's also the perfume bottle and some other things. So if you want to test out the new weapon types, definitely check out that video. I'll leave a link in the description below. But I really do hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one.